Neither of you know how to hire people. You don't know how to align them with the job. You don't know how to hold them accountable, and you don't know how to develop them, and you don't know how to keep them yet. And that's a skill set you need to learn.
My wife and I are partners in running an HR consulting business. We're tracking to do about $550K this year. My question is, I'm doing sales, she's doing service delivery. We have a lot of part-time contractors. We're ready to go full-time. Is that first hire sales? Is it service delivery? All of the above.
So look, first of all, you need a target. You're doing 550 of revenue per employee. There's two of you and you're doing 550, right? So you're doing 275,000 of revenue per employee. You and her need to figure out how to get to 350,000 of revenue between the two of you per employee. So you need to figure out how to get your business to $700,000 before you hire anybody else. That means you got to figure it out. Here's what I want you to do. I want you and her to work together to find out what 1/3 of the stuff you're doing that you want to get off your plate that's not your highest value, but you have to do it to get to 350,000 of revenue for your contribution. I want her to track 1/3 of the stuff she's got to do to help that she's not her highest value. And I want the two of you to identify that 1/3 for each of you, create a new job description, and I want you to hire a person to take care of those elements of the business. And that person needs to take on that 1/3 of you and 1/3 of her, which is a full-time person doing that. And that person, by complimenting you and your wife, means you and your wife need to generate with that person another 375,000 of revenue per employee. So your target is 3 of you getting 1.1 million as a team, you doing what you're the best at, your wife doing what she's the best at, and you and your wife offloading 1/3 of what you're both doing to that 3rd person. But you're going to write down what those things are. You're going to write down how they need to be done. You're going to write down how they complement the company. And you're going to work as a team of 3, just like you work as a team of 2. But that 3rd person is the 3rd leg to the stool to get you to 1.1 million. It's going to force your wife to learn to delegate, to write down the competency needed to do that job, the requirements needed to do the job, the skill set required to do the job, and how you're going to measure the performance of the person doing that job. And it's going to require you and your wife to work with that 3rd person so you can work as a team of 3, as one team, and you'll know you win when you get to 1.1 million, because neither of you know how to hire people. You don't know how to align them with the job. You don't know how to hold them accountable, and you don't know how to develop them, and you don't know how to keep them yet. And that's a skill set you need to learn. You might as well learn it together while you drive value within the business, building your confidence that you guys did it, you crushed it. And if that's not the right person, you know together, let's get rid of him, bring another one in, and keep doing it until you figure out how to do it right together, hitting targets, and then you're going to be able to just duplicate that over and over and over. That teaches you 2 things: how to increase targets, increase activity, delegate your least value, but an important thing that needs to be done for the business, work with a 3rd party, and then hit 1.1 to 1.2 million. And then you're gonna be like, boy, we hit all those targets. Now we're ready to go to.
All righty. Up next, Jeff Davis, you're up.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see it.
Awesome. My question, I actually already answered it, but I have another one. As far as hiring an executive assistant, I'm not sure where those folks would fit in as far as the rule of 3. Is that somebody who would migrate into more of an operator type, operations kind of manager type person later on, or are they kind of outside?
Well, first of all, you count them as your revenue, just like everybody else. Okay. The job of an executive assistant is to make your life easier and to take stuff off your plate, which means you should be more productive. Your increased productivity should be able to add 375, in that case, a revenue per employee. So otherwise, why hire an executive assistant? So look, hire for attitude, train for results. If you write down the competency, write down the skill set, write down the measurement of how they're going to be able to impact their job and develop that person. Heather Blocks worked with me. She started with me when she was an associate in the company. She's now an executive vice president and partner. Candace has 70 direct employees for our organization, runs our strategic business unit and our platforming team and our acquisition team. And she started out as an associate, and she's had 8 positions all the way up to partner now. So you always need to be selling the significance and importance of each role and the opportunity to grow within the organization if they exhibit the core characteristics, the attributes, the competencies, and the skill set that you need to develop to see they're developing. And your job as a leader is to make other people's success easy. So if you're working together as a team and killing it, they can move into any role as long as they keep up with that and they do their part and you do your part to develop them. So I would never limit anybody or hire anybody for a job. I would hire them for an opportunity to do anything in their life they want to do if they're willing to learn, develop, grow, and create value while you're increasing the size of your business.